Happy Hanukkah. Good morning. It's Friday morning. This video is entitled Hanukkah 2021 Day 5 Thoughts, although this is Day 6. But I had some extreme thoughts all day yesterday that I couldn't even put into words. And so this morning I think I have the words, and the words are, my heart is so thankful for this week of looking and studying devotion, which is what Hanukkah means in English. And finding, one day I talked about, yesterday the day 4, I talked about how Hanukkah is kind of weird, how it's not in English. But how it's not weird in Christianity, rather it's necessary to be devoted. You can't be a Christian unless you're devoted. And that just simmered like I'm a big pot of curry. I'm simmering, and more is coming. And this week has really been a retreat while I've stayed at home. And it's just really been a journey of what is devotion and how does that apply to me. And all of that has developed into, first, a recognition that actually the Hanukkah, the devotion that is changing me, transforming me with new perceptions, is not the same Hanukkah that I started with. The idea of the original Hanukkah, the one that you're aware of. The original Hanukkah. This Hanukkah is the same Hanukkah, only it's grown into a daily practical application, a soul searching and finding of devotion that goes on and on, a perpetual devotion. But it's a thankfulness for the possibility of that. For example, I'm just super thankful for the community. See, when I first realized what pleased God wasn't what I was promoting as a children's ministry director in a local Methodist church. What I was promoting wasn't what God loves. And when I looked at what God loves and what was in the Bible, biblical Christianity, I felt alone. I did not know. No one told me, except in my search and quest for what truth was and the power of the Bible and my love for God. And no one in my life knew of or told me that it wasn't right to cut down a tree and bring it into your house and decorate it. That I found in Jeremiah, and I found it because the Lord took the blinders off my eyes as a result of years of praying for a man that was dying of cancer. And I had been healed, and my son had been healed, and I was bound to pray for healing continually. And I knew I could pick this 80-pound man up to a church, but that he likely wouldn't, and I would believe that he would be healed, but he likely wouldn't be healed. So I left him in the bed, and we just continued to pray and hope. But in all that journey of praying every day, all the time, I realized, that there was something not right. And it wasn't God. God is right, and He is true, and His word is real. So it had to be me. Well, when years after he died, this man that was dying of cancer and brought me into a state of perpetual prayer, years after he died, suddenly I got the realization that this Christmas tree wasn't in the Bible. And the ornaments on the tree were images, and the baby Jesus and the nativity was an image of God. I saw it immediately as offensive to God. And no one told me that. I didn't get a hold of bad theology. I felt like a vegetarian in a room full of, like a hunter's den with the head. I'm not a vegetarian, but I felt at that moment the horror of a vegetarian inside the hunter's den with the heads on the walls, of the deer head and all this. It was an amazing feeling. And I felt conviction. This is what it is. This is it. And my devotion began at that moment. But the problem was I was thoroughly alone. 100% alone. I had no community. I was alone. And so yesterday, I felt this intense thankfulness that when God calls us out, or when we hear, however it happens, that some people realize this and some people don't. I don't have an explanation for that. But those of us who feel this sadness about having a Christmas tree, this profound sadness about having a nativity, there's a community for you. There's a community for you. So this holiday, it's a holiday that's recognizable. It is strange that Christian people who love Jesus would flock to it. Jesus was in the temple when Hanukkah was happening. But he calls us, out of Babylon, which if you follow me at all, that this decorating of a tree was going on well before Jesus was ever born. It is paganism. It did come under Nimrod in Babylon. But this community, you have this community that is obviously here, is here for us. So you're not alone. I'm not alone. And last year I was alone. And this year I am not alone. And I'm not alone in my different ideas of what it means to love Jesus. And for clarity, we have a big party at Tabernacles, and that is when Jesus was born. And we do celebrate Jesus' birth. And we do, give gifts, and we do crafts, and we have family. So I guess my thankfulness yesterday, I couldn't put into words. Today I may have failed as well. But the profound miracle of provision for those of us who want to, just as the Maccabees ridded their temple of pagan practices, we want to rid our lives of any practice that can logically be traced back to Babylon. And historically, having a Christmas tree does do that. And I know some people feel okay with it. I get that. Some people say, well, this or that. But I'm not okay with it. I can't. I feel sick about it. For me, we won't have a tree here. We're so fulfilled by what we do in following and the other holidays that we do throughout the year, and now Hanukkah, that we don't miss anything. We're not sad. There's nothing that we miss at all. We're fulfilled. We're getting more. So it's a long video, man, 10 minutes, my goodness. But I'm telling you, if you feel like me and you just feel sick about a Christmas tree and you're longing for something more, you know that there's missing something, that if it's Christian, it should be in the Bible. Everything we do is in the Bible. There's a community for you. There are people that think like that too. And it's not just a few people. And that's exciting. And it's humbling. Happy Hanukkah.